Went out to Ashe County to get a better idea of what the aftermath looks like out there, with community members just trying to find a way to get back on their feet.
Western North Carolina is still feeling the impacts of Helene. Here in Ashe County, you can see Deep Ford Road has been completely destroyed. Right here is even part of what was someone's home. For the folks who call Ashe County home, well, they're left completely devastated.
I'm in Creston today, embedding with sheriff's deputies who are going around the county checking on people who still don't have a way out. Roads are gone, bridges are washed out. There's still not a lot of ways for the outside world to get in. We ditched our own car and joined a group of Ashe County Sheriff deputies Tuesday morning. Getting around the mountains, as we learned, a risky job.
As of right now, we're still kind of in the beginning stages, trying to get to everybody and make sure that they're okay. Yeah, y'all can take that one.
Folks on the other side of washed out roads like these need essentials.
Because we hadn't saw anybody.
Or just some batteries to keep a toy on.
The road was gone and a lot of things happened.
Yeah, well, you're scared?
We're just blessed to have our house. I know a lot of people's worse off than we are.
Across Creston, the road infrastructure will cost millions to fix. Deputies often having to find alternate routes to check on folks.
Giving me some of the best directions I've heard all day.
Deputies Dusty Farmer and Chase Baldwin had their own stories to tell.
I wasn't able to get off the mountain.
There is now a house in my front yard. It came from up the road a little bit.
But the chaos at home didn't stop their efforts to keep others alive and well.
On my way to work, coming through the Hilton Creek area, saw the flashing lights in the water, car upside down on its top, ready to do it in the county.
Helping a man out of a car stranded in a river, just one of the stories we heard.
He's still in the hospital. I think he had some injuries, but he was in the water for over an hour.
How are you?
But it's not just first responders.
Neighbors checking on neighbors.
Over and over, they'd get over a roadblock to check on someone and find they weren't the first. A sign the county will eventually be okay.
People are pretty resilient here.
Reporting in Creston, Naomi Coles, WBTV, on your side.
Yeah, it's just the wind and the...
Lansing and Ashe County's story is best told in the words of a man I met today. Welcome to God's country after hell passed through. 30 minutes.
And I was in here, and that's when I started to hear water gurgling.
That's all the time Shelby Trammell had to try and save anything.
When the water was about to my shoulder level, I realized I needed to get out of here.
Shelby owns the general store in downtown Lansing.
It's such a special place.
For 8 decades, it's been the thriving heart of the town. Now, it echoes with the sounds of drywall being ripped out. Big Horse Creek runs along downtown Lansing. Friday, it broke over its banks in flash flooding that overwhelmed the town in minutes. Nowhere can you see that better than here in the Lansing post office. Inside here, this is the water line. High above my head, I'm 5'5" for context. No one knows the death toll in this area. There's still people no one has heard from in homes that no one can access.
Roads are out, bridges gone, landslides, trees everywhere.
One person is confirmed dead in Ashe County, but Lansing Fire Chief Jeff Venable fears many more.
We'd heard a report that just a man and woman went out of their house to see if they could get out, and they washed her off the porch, and they went to check on him the next morning and her, and he had just told them that she'd washed away and nothing he could do.
Homes are obliterated, roads washed out, RVs floated away, businesses reeking with the smell of mud and toxic floodwater. Venable says state and federal aid has not yet reached Lansing.
Nobody's contacted us. Y'all the first people we've seen from off the mountain.
For all the heartbreak, the story now is the people.
We're here. That's what we do.
They haven't slept. Some don't have a home to go back to, but they're here doing what they can to help each other survive.
We've got horses coming up to get to places we can't access by vehicle. just so we can get the people the water and just essential foods.
I haven't asked one single person to come help. They just show up.
The town, a bit like this painting.
Floated all the way down the creek.
It took a quarter-mile trip through the floodwaters.
Half the store floated away, so.
Someone found it in the rubble and brought it back. Look at it, good as new. I watched as a volunteer who's worked nonstop since Friday give a breathless update to town officials. He said that he had worked his sources to get them federal help, arriving Friday. Reporting in Lansing, Naomi Coles, WBTV, on your side.
Well, we are on day four without power. I was able to go to my parents' house yesterday and let's see if this works. Hold on. I have an outlet in my car. Like, let me curl my hair. But I was able to go to my parents' house yesterday. They have power. They got their power back like the night before yesterday, you know, so like 2 days ago. So we showered. I was able to wash my hair. Kids were able to shower. All the things. So today, Bridget, my assistant, her roof blew off her house, or part of her roof blew off her house. And so she is in a rental house in like a different part of the county that didn't get hit as bad. Now, I don't know how in the world she found a rental house on the day of a hurricane, but she did. And so she's there. She has internet, she's working, but there's a few things I need to check in with her, make sure she's good on some things. If I were to try and like edit a video, Rip, stop. The dog thinks he's going somewhere because I'm in the back of my car. If I were to like edit a video or anything, I need internet. So we're gonna go to town and get a little internet. And so I thought I'd like make myself somewhat presentable. Yeah, my car has an outlet back here, and I thought of this the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I could totally use my car outlet to curl my hair, or for my husband to make like instant coffee or something. That's what we're gonna do. I'm using y'all as a mirror. But yeah, this has been wild. Never had anything like this happen before, and I know, you know, oh, look at it steaming because of it's cold out here. I know that like those of you who live in places like Florida or, you know, South Carolina or something like that, are just used to it. It's not supposed to hurricane / flood in the mountains of North Carolina. We were actually hit pretty off guard by it, at least at the level that I have no idea what this looks like, so just ignore me. We knew we were getting rain. We knew we were getting hit from the end of this hurricane. That was not the surprise. But that happens all the time. Like to say like the tail end of this hurricane is, you know, gonna hit us and we're gonna get a ton of rain. Wind. Okay, cool. That happens, I won't say on the regular, but it's like, you know, once a year probably, maybe once every couple of years. So it wasn't that big of a deal. We did get, you know, we did notice that obviously there was like a lot of rainfall called for. Again, not something totally abnormal, but it washed us away. I mean, it just, my kids probably won't go back to school for a month, if that. They might be able to restore people's power enough to let them do virtual school for a couple weeks, but I honestly don't think they'll physically go in the building for a month, which is insane. And the reason at this point, I mean, we have roads that have completely like fallen in. We have roads that don't exist anymore. And when you live in a rural, that's such a hard word for me to say, but when you live in a rural area and your road doesn't exist anymore, there's not like another option. You know what I mean? So we have tons of people who are still trapped in their homes. We're on, like I say, day 4 of not having power. So basically day 4 of like the whole ordeal. And yeah, we have people still like trapped in their homes. I know I've seen several stories yesterday when I was at my parents'. So I have no cell phone service, no internet, no nothing here. And so that first day was kind of scary because nobody could get a hold of anybody. You know, like, are my parents okay? Did a tree fall on their house? I have no idea. because the entire county was out of cell service. From town on, which if you don't live in a small town, you may not realize, but like, or a small county, I guess, you may not realize, but like, there's like the centrally located town, and then there's like the outskirts of that town. Like everybody in those outskirts goes to that town. Does that make sense? And so like our town is not the town I live in at all. Actually, I'm like three or four towns over from that town, but we're all in the same county. And I'm looking at a mirror down here. If you're like, what in the world? You guys, we're not a sufficient mirror anymore. But what are you barking at? But our town is like where our like McDonald's and Walmart. Oh, is that a bee? Ah, go away, bee. Getting stung today is not on my to-do list. Anyway, that's where our like all of our grocery stores are, that kind of thing. And town would naturally be the first place that we get power, and it was, because, you know, it's where the grocery stores are, it's where the food places are, you know, all the things. So they got power that first day, I guess, because I tried to go to Walmart that day and they were open, but then they closed at 7. Because I was here with no water, nothing. We were not prepared for this. Like, this was not a thing we were prepared for at all. So anyway, I'm going to town. I'm gonna try and find internet at a coffee shop and power and like sit in the daylight for a while, because the thing too is it has been like really dreary, as you can see. It's not like super sunny, and so my house is really dark, even when we have like lanterns on and stuff. So we're gonna go do that. And yeah, school is definitely out all week. I honestly think it will be for a month or more until they can figure out how to get these kids who, so real fun fact, the most rural parts of our county, which I live on like the tail end of that. Okay, so I'm not technically in the most rural parts. Ah, there's that bee again. I'm not technically in the most rural parts, but like, you have to come to my house to get out there. And those parts of the county are the parts that got hit the worst. So until they can find a way to build back literal highways, you know, to these places and bridges and things like that, I just don't foresee us going to school anytime soon. Really hoping, like, the pattern of them restoring power, really hoping we get power back today, tomorrow. Like, I'd be okay with tomorrow, but like, I really want it back today, obviously, but like, also I understand that like my wants aren't what's most important right now. But this has showed me that I could do van life with like cold showers and stuff for like a second, for like a couple days, and then I would die or give up or something. We do have a couple of shelters. Where is this guy going? Oh, we do have a couple of shelters set up, and we do have like FEMA and Red Cross and stuff, but I mean, it is like a legit disastrous catastrophical event. Something I never thought I'd see. I've never seen anything like this in my county. I'll try and show as many pictures and videos as I can. I wish I would have videoed our reaction that first day we went out, because it flooded here. So like this whole area, see where the horses are right there? Hold on. See where the horses are right there? I know it's blurry because I've got a good lens, but the horses right here, that's the road. Okay, so like that area, that was completely flooded. My driveway was completely flooded, and there's no water there, so that was fun. My neighbors lost their driveway completely up the road. There's actually 2 neighbors lost their driveways, I guess, 2 or 3. And then we could see like stuff washing down into our property from their houses, like the culverts that are in their driveway to reroute the water in our yard. And then we got in my husband's truck and we left out once the storm kind of subsided, and that was amazing in a bad way. Like I never thought I'd see something like that. This bridge right here, I'm gonna show you a picture of. My neighbors are probably like, what the hell is she doing? But This bridge right here that I'm gonna show you a picture of is normally 30 feet from the water, maybe more. It's a very long distance from this bridge to the water, and the water was touching it. And on the right side of it was actually going into the road. And this is a bridge like pretty close to my house. So it was insane. I wish I would have videoed my reaction, our reaction to getting out and seeing it for the first time, but I didn't. I did get pictures, so I'll try and show those as much as I can. Yeah, I guess let's just see how this goes. But we're on day 4, no power, curling our hair in the back of the car, taking hoe baths. If you've never taken a hoe bath, you can imagine what that is. Teaching my children what a hoe bath is. It's a fun time, let me tell you. Hey, buddy. You bark really loud if our power comes back on, so we know. We made it back from town, and still no power, of course. Although they are getting close. They're getting close. But we're having to use creek water to flush our toilets. And we're out. So, got our boys and our buckets to get some toilet flushing water. While I'm here, while they're going to get water. Where I'm standing right now, so like where I'm standing was completely underwater, like inches and inches of water. All the way to there in the road, and like as far as you could see. Hopefully I've got videos of that I can put in here. We still have like remnants of water that shouldn't be in places. Oh, I about fell. This is our creek. Gotta get water from right here. The creek used to go this way, and now it's going this way. Anyway, our creek used to go this way and turn, but after the flood, now it has like rerouted itself to go this way, which is really funny because my husband was like, oh, is it full? Okay. My husband was like, I want this creek straighter anyway. Well, Hurricane Helene took care of that for us. But this right here, this culvert that routes water under our driveway, the worry was that the water would push it out, right? Like it would either push it out that way, or if it would float it off the ground, which is actually what happened to one of my neighbor's houses out there, because their culvert is just like in the road right there still. And that happened to a lot of people. Like that's what we're seeing a lot in driveways. Got a bunch of dishes that are gonna start stinking if I don't get them like rinsed out at least. I really think we're like pretty close to getting power. I was able, oh, we got a cell phone signal. We got, and I don't have much here anyway, but we got like a bar or two. And so, I'm able to like do a few things if I'm willing to wait 10 minutes, you know. And I was able to look at the outage map just now, and it looks like they're about to my road from one direction and about to head my direction from the other direction. So I'm hoping soon. To be completely honest, I'm not exactly sure how I thought I was going to end this video or what I thought I was going to do in this video. Also, don't look at my messy car. I have like hauled laundry, hauled dogs, hauled food, hauled children, hauled all the things. And it's a trash hole. But anyway, I wasn't sure what I thought this video was going to be, to be honest. But we're on day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, full day 5 since the storm. And I still don't have power. Most of the county still doesn't have power. And we are just now getting the people here and the manpower to do the things that need to be done to get people out of their trapped homes, and out of, like, get them the supplies they need. The part that's really been like heavy on my brain and heart, I guess, is like, I don't have power, but I'm like an able-bodied 30-something-year-old who does have a clear path to town. I can drive my little happy ass to get food at the grocery store. I can do the things that I need to do to take care of myself, right? Like, I can't flush my toilets well, but we're good. You know what I mean? And what's really been heavy for me is the fact that there are elderly people trapped because they can't get out of their driveways or their road or like whatever the scenario is, either because the road completely caved in and fell apart, or because like their driveways are full of like debris, and they're elderly and they can't fix it, or because they're in a super remote area that was hard to get out of anyway and people can't get to them. Like, there are so many scenarios where people are just trapped in their houses, and that is so hard for me because I am losing my mind without power. So I know that they are losing their minds and or being scared and or, you know, just unsure of what's about to happen or what's, you know, whatever. And, you know, there could be some people who won't make it out of that type of scenario. Like, literally people are hacking oxygen tanks into elderly people. I saw a post yesterday of a girl who, her son is special needs and has a feeding tube. She can't get out. She's using 8 bottles of water a day to clean his feeding tube, which is not even the right water, right? Like, she needs distilled water, but she doesn't have it, so she's doing the best she can. And they're like running out of water and stuff. And like, I just can't. I can't imagine. So I'm doing everything I possibly can to help. And I feel like the best way I know to help is just to put this on the internet and get the word out, right? So since putting it on Instagram and since, you know, having connections here, there, and everywhere, like today I'm sending a chainsaw crew to one of the fire departments. I just sent another one to another fire department to drop off gas for chainsaws and 4-wheelers and things, and solar like charging banks for like your, you know, your phone and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's been amazing to watch the community come together. Like, amazing. The federal resources are here. Things are here. The problem is when you have to go through these like official modes of help, they're very, very slow. Like, we are on day 5 and FEMA just got here yesterday. So number 1, they're slow. Number 2, they're not bringing enough resources here because they're using a lot of resources in other areas, which is totally fine. Asheville and Boone and those bigger areas need help too. But they're not, like, you know, they're not bringing as many resources to our small area, right? But then also, they're not really providing the help that's needed. Yes, we need supplies, and supplies help, and like all the things. But they're like yesterday, there was a tent set up to distribute oxygen for people. And this, I think it was Samaritan's Purse that set that up, which is, by the way, they're based like here, so they better be helping. Anyway, there's a tent set up for people like to be able to go get oxygen, you know, if they were out. If they can get out to go get oxygen, they could have gotten it their normal way. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So it was in the hospital at like a central location, and it's like that's where they would have gotten it anyway. And so the help that we need is like for helicopters to drop oxygen in at people who can't get out. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of like help that doesn't, not that it doesn't help, but it's not as helpful as it could be, but also slow help. And when we have to go through kind of official measures, everything is much slower. And I know if I was trapped in my house, even if I was trapped with my husband and my kids, and I was like, you know, okay, by day 6, I would be losing my mind, you know, and I would be terrified. And so I can only imagine the people who were like trapped by themselves, or, you know, not really knowing what's going on. They don't have cell signal. They don't have power. They don't know what's going on. So anyway, that's what's been on my heart mostly. And the best way I know to do, like, to help that is to share, and use the fact that I have a big platform. And so I am linking several like donation links below. Did I already say this? Including my Venmo. I was a little afraid to share my Venmo because I knew that a lot of people would donate, and they already have. I literally just shared it 2 minutes ago, and there's like already so many people donating. And I wasn't sure if I could handle that, but I think I have enough help now. My team can help. Obviously I can do it. And I have kids, able-bodied children, and you know, all the things that we can get the supplies we need to the places we need to get them. So I don't know what my plan with this video was, but I am gonna leave it here and just ask for y'all to help as much as possible. And if you're wondering, like, order of operations, obviously sending money somewhere is going to help somebody somewhere, right? But if you're anywhere close to me, coming and helping cut trees out of the road or helping distribute these supplies is great. And then honestly, sharing is helping so much. Being able, knowing that like I helped get the word out that my area was in the predicament it was in, and now we've got people here to help, that's amazing to me, and I'm so thankful for that. So sharing is super, super helpful, because otherwise people don't know what they don't know, right? They don't know that there's a rural community that's struggling, or like whatever the scenario is, you know? So if you can't donate monetarily, cool. Just share this video, go on Instagram and share any of the posts I've made. Just share and bring awareness, because we're struggling up here. And it's one of those weird things. Like, I don't know what to do. Like today I had a hair appointment, and my hair girl was like, hey, we got water back at the salon, cause her salon's in town, so it wasn't affected as much. And she's like, if you want to do your hair, I'm coming in. And I'm like, yeah, of course. But then I feel guilty, but also at the same time, if I didn't go, I'd feel guilty for like her not making the money she needs to make. And when we got there, we were all talking about how guilty we were, or felt like just doing normal things like washing our hair, you know, getting our hair done, when there's people who don't have enough food right now because they can't get out, or because if they can get out, it's very treacherous. And so they're only doing it so often, or whatever. So anyway, I guess that's all. If you can help, please do. Links below. Share this video. And send lots of, you know, good juju our way. If you're a praying person, pray. If you're a, you know, if you like to, you know, manifest things, do that. I don't care. We'll welcome it. So, let me just reiterate too that I am okay. I don't have power, but I do can get out. I can wash my clothes. My parents have power. I have a basket of laundry back here. I can wash my body. I can get out. And, so yeah, I'm okay. Thank you guys for your concern for me, but I'm okay. I'd love to have power, but we're not going to complain. So yeah, thank you.